Meet the Volkswagen ID.6 SUV, Volkswagen's third submission into its ID lineup of electric vehicles. It's currently only available to the Chinese auto market, but it's looking like it's about to make the jump and debut in other markets across the world, and it might just be sooner than you think. In terms of competition, the ID.6 has auto products like the Audi Q4 e-tron and Skoda Kamiq to contend with. But is it up to the task? What is it even made of? Join us in today's video as we dissect every important bit about the all-electric Volkswagen ID.6 SUV. Also in the course of this video, we'll be discussing the possible reasons why the ID.6 is not on sale in Europe and North America. The ID.6 we hear will be offered in two variants, the CROZZ and the X. With that said, let's take a look at the exterior. Exterior. The Volkswagen ID.6 seat is an extended and bigger version of the ID.4. They both share the same chassis architecture as well. Gearheads won't have a problem guessing the powertrain of this car because the LED light bar, which stretches out at the front of the vehicle, easily gives that away. From the very moment you set your gaze upon the ID.6, even from a distance, you can easily tell it's an all-electric vehicle. This SUV features a McPherson suspension in front and a symbolic addition of rear drum brakes. Adaptive suspension is available as an option. You'll get 19-inch wheels as a standard option, and the top-tier variants will come with 21-inch alloy wheels. With a length of 4.18 meters, the Volkswagen ID.6 is undoubtedly one of the larger SUVs around. With that amount of space, we're not surprised to learn that it will have enough room to house 7 passengers. The designers have paid extra attention to differentiating the ID.6 CROZZ and the ID.X. Actually, the CROZZ is produced by a coalition of the FAW Volkswagen division in Foshan, China. In comparison, the ID.6X will be designed by the SAIC Volkswagen Alliance somewhere in Shanghai. The CROZZ variant of the ID.6 features a black grille and a cutting-edge silver trim element that cuts across its twin-tone paint finish for the roof. Meanwhile, the X models are designed with a single-body colored strip cutting through an extended portion of the car. Overall, there isn't much difference between the exterior of the ID.6 and that of the ID.3 or the ID.4 compact SUV. Interior and technology. Following in the footsteps of the ID.3 and the ID.4, the ID.6's features a minimalist interior design. Volkswagen extends this to a whole new level by yanking off physical buttons and switches. Crucially, the only way to get things done within the cabin of this SUV is through the 12-inch centralized infotainment, which features the Voice Hello ID voice assistant. Not to mention that you also get to enjoy the Travel Assist function, which is also available in smaller Volkswagen ID cars. This basically means that the ID.6 will be able to accelerate, brake, and steer without human input in normal road conditions. Additionally, for a couple of extra dollars, you can get an augmented reality heads-up display. Battery, range, and performance. Volkswagen is offering a handful of battery pack options for the ID.6. The first is a 58 kilowatt-hour or 62 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery that gives 271 miles after a full charge. And there's a bigger 77 kilowatt-hour pack that extends the driving to 365 miles. The model with the smaller battery pack will only be offered as a rear-wheel drive. The higher-tier model comes with a 306 horsepower electric that allows it to drift from 0 to 60 miles per hour in only 6.6 seconds. That's a bit slower than the 5.3 seconds set by the Audi e-tron SUV, but quite faster than the 0 to 60 time of 7.7 seconds set by the Skoda Kamiq. It is also worth mentioning that both the ID.6 and ID.4 have similar battery packs. However, we'd rather not compare them like for like because this is obviously bigger and heavier than its predecessor. When will it launch? According to AutoWeek, deliveries for the Volkswagen are underway in China already. Pricing. Perhaps the one aspect where the Volkswagen ID.6 can claim to defeat its competitors is the price. Regardless of the size and seemingly okay tech features, the ID.6 is very much an affordable car. The CROZZ model, for instance, has a starting price of 239,800 won, or about $36,056 at the time of making this video. The high-end models can cost as much as $52,000. Why is the ID.6 not selling outside China? We're sure by now you're lost in thoughts trying to figure out why Volkswagen has decided to sell this car only within the confines of the People's Republic of China. A perfect excuse would be that Volkswagen now has access to a number of car manufacturing plants in China due to its partnership with Geely. So it's a lot easier and cheaper to manufacture in China for the Chinese market. Olaf Kutowski, head of sales and marketing at Volkswagen in China, mentioned earlier this year that China is one of the most important markets globally for Volkswagen and will continue to play an essential role in the future success of our transformation to electrification and digitization. We see the ID.6 as the next building block for Volkswagen to also become the leading brand for sustainable mobility in China, as we are for ICE vehicles. He added, as a result, one difference in our ID models in China is that they will have a high level of computing power and a robust software platform in order to provide customers with the necessary digital and connectivity services. Does it have any competitors in China? It's quite easy to conclude that the Volkswagen ID.6 wouldn't have too much competition in China. That suggestion is in no way true because there are several other Chinese cars that could even outperform the ID.6. A very good example is the XPeng, which we reviewed recently, and thankfully, the German automaker is aware of these competitions. Rising Chinese brands such as NIO and XPeng are also making competition more fierce, especially when it comes to new energy vehicles, NEVs, and intelligent connected vehicles, ICVs, Olaf Kutowski said. According to widespread reports, the ID.6 might as well be exported to the European and North American automobile markets. But before they arrive, another all-electric SUV is expected to be launched to serve these regions. Another option would be to make the ID.8 available in these markets. Different markets have different consumer preferences, road conditions, and competitive landscapes, so it is critical to have a targeted regional strategy to better adapt to the specific market situation, Olaf Kutowski added. The all-electric Volkswagen wins our hearts for many reasons. It's the biggest of all Volkswagen IDs on sale. The optional panoramic roof complements the ample cabin space, and you've got some amazing tech features that you usually wouldn't find in an all-electric vehicle that costs less than $40,000. Will it do well enough to rack up the right numbers? Only time will tell. It's your turn now. What do you make of the Volkswagen ID.6? Be sure to check out this video over here.